get ready to write, there's some things you need to know about your hand, okay? Your hand is made to use all your fingers individually. That means by themselves. So you can pick up things with just these two. You can work with these two together, like when you're cutting with scissors, or you can use your whole hand to grasp things, okay? When you're writing, you're using these three fingers together, okay? These two fingers right here, they don't really do much, okay? Now, in the beginning, your hand might be kind of weak, okay? If you look at Mrs. Wathen's hand, you can see some big muscles that I have right here and right here in my thumb, okay? And you see lots of lines in my hand. That's because I've learned how to work with my hand in all sorts of different ways, different directions. Since you're little, you have to work to get those things, okay? You have to make this muscle right here really super strong. And when you first start writing in school, you might feel some pain right there because you're working muscles that you haven't used that much before, okay? So I'm going to show you how to hold your pencil the right way, and just remember that if your hand gets tired, it's because you're working these muscles and you're developing these lines in your hand, and that's important. So just take a rest break, stretch your hand out, and then go back to doing it the right way. Okay, I'm going to show you the right way, and I'm going to show you the wrong way to hold a pencil or a crayon or a marker, any of it. Okay, so I have some writing tools here. I have a couple of crayons, a marker, and a pencil. When I get ready to pick up my pencil, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to make sure that the writing part is pointing down, okay? Now, as you see, my two fingers over here aren't holding the pencil. It's these three fingers right here, okay? Now, your thumb is on one side and your two fingers are on another. And there should be a nice space here. In fact, you can see that crayon right through there, okay? I've got a nice space in there. These two fingers right here, they're tucked down, okay? They're not out here. I'm not trying to write like this. Okay, they're tucked down. This one helps to guide like that, okay? Let me get a piece of paper here, and I'm going to write my name, okay? So there they are, tucked back here. Here's my nice round spot that you can see through, and I've got these three fingers working together. They're not way up here on the pencil, okay? They're down here where I can control the tip, okay? Mrs. Wathen. Okay, now I want you to notice something. I'm going to write it again, and I want you to notice where the movement comes from. Does it come from back here? Is my whole arm moving? Is my wrist moving? Or are my fingers the ones moving? Okay? Is it my whole arm, my wrist, or my fingers? Watch me again. Mrs. Wathen. Where was I moving? Most of it was coming from right here. You see my thumb bending back and forth, making those motions. Now, when you're small, like in kindergarten, and your muscles aren't fat like Mrs. Wathen's here in her hand, you might get tired, and you might end up using your whole arm, okay? But we're working to build up that strength in your hand so that all the motion comes just right here from those little fingers, okay? This is called fine motor skills. We want them to be really tiny and really precise. It's hard to write small when your whole hand is moving, okay? So let me show you what it looks like if your whole arm is moving. Go, Mrs. Wathen. My whole arm was going back and forth. You can't even hardly see it. I can't even write that hard Now if my wrist is doing the motion, then it looks like this. Mrs. Wathen. I can't even do it, boys and girls, very well because I'm so used to doing it with my fingers. Okay, so that's what we're working on, is these two guys are tucked back and these are working. In the beginning, if you need a little help from 3 fingers, that's okay, but you really need to practice just with 2. Get to where you can do 2 fingers and you have nice fat muscles down here, and the motion is coming from your fingers. That's all. We don't want to wrap around, because then you can't bend and open your thumb very well, and you don't have this nice space. So you don't want to wrap around the pencil. You want to hold it with the tips of your fingers, okay? You're going to see people write all different ways. Even your teachers might not quite write the way they're supposed to, because when they were small, their teachers didn't help them develop their fat muscles like they should have. So sometimes you'll see other people writing and it's not quite right. The most important thing is that when you write, people can read your writing. And this is the way that it's going to help you get to where people can read your writing. This is much neater than this, okay? So this is what we're trying to work for. But the important thing is, no matter how you hold your pencil, that it's neat. But let's try our best to get it to look fat muscles, 3 fingers. These 2 are tucked back, just holding, okay? And you move across the page. We always go from the left side to the right side, okay? We don't start in the middle. Start over on the left, and we move across the page, and our fingers are the ones doing the motion, okay? And it doesn't matter whether you're holding a pencil, whether you're holding a crayon and you're coloring, okay? See that? I'm still coloring. I'm still holding it with 3 fingers. I'm still moving my arm across the page. It doesn't matter if you have a marker, still holding it the same way, okay? It takes a lot of practice, and like I said, until your muscles get strong, it's going to hurt a little bit, and you're going to get tired, but just stretch it out, do some few exercises, and then go back and hold it the right way, okay? Don't switch hands. If you're usually right with this one, don't switch hands because this hand is tired. Let it rest a minute, stretch out those muscles, and then go back and write some more. Okay, that's how you get big fat muscles like Mrs. Wathen. All right, I'll be watching you, and so will your teacher. So let's do our best to keep working to get your hand holding that pencil the right way so you have nice, neat writing. All right.